A very big congratulations to you, the law, on your admission. I believe you clicking this video shows that you have either gotten admission or you are a law student or you are a potential aspirant of law student. So before we begin, I would like you to tell me the very school you are watching this video from. It will go a long way to help me know who I'm discussing with and also to identify with your colleagues. So what we are basically going to do in this video is an introductory guide to legal method. Legal method is one of the first legal courses that is offered in all the universities of the world. And that is where the whole process begins. So in this very video, we are going to approach this step by step to uncover all the courses and everything you are going to do having gotten admission or having applied to study law in your particular university. That is what we are going to do. By the way, my name is Kingsley. I'm currently a 400 level law student. If you are interested in learning how the law works, or if you are interested in growing your academics, this very channel is for you. You can subscribe and then turn the notification so that whenever we post a video, you will receive it. Our introductory class today on legal method will basically run into 5 stages. So in the last stage, I'm going to share with you the relevant textbook we are going to read or we are going to buy in order to essay this very course. Now, the first thing you are going to do as a law student is to actually identify the courses you are going to offer in the university. You know, when you have gotten admissions, the joy and everything have set in, but then you ought to know that there is something ahead. There is something coming. Basically, law is a very competitive course, not only just in getting admission, but even when you have gotten admission, it's very competitive. That is when you will see that a typical law student battle academically in order to buckle up with different calibers of people who you are going to meet. So that's why it's important that once you have gotten admission, there is absolutely no need of wasting time. The best thing to do is to begin immediately. And in this video, I'm going to lead you step by step on everything you are going to do in first semester in your legal method. This will guide you to help you to read ahead. This will help you to, know the particular thing you are going to do even when the school have not started, because those who will make A in this course are not those who will start when the lecturer starts, but those who has begun early to make preparation. I believe you may be sitting at home now, you are not doing anything. The best way now is to know the relevant courses. If you have started already and the school is not serious, this is the time to make a thorough plan. Like I said, legal method is the first legal courses, and I have made a very big video that introduced everything that concerns legal method. So we are not going to dive into that thing because that one actually define legal method and define most of the thing we are going to talk about here. So the only thing I'm going to do is that I will link up the playlists in above this video. So once either you click it now to watch it and come back to this one, or once you are done, you will still have the opportunity to click it. So you go and watch all those videos. Those one has to do with definition of legal method, law, and all so many things you will be taught, which we are going to outline here. But this one is a practical guide to the course outline on legal method. Having said that, let's begin. The first stage of the work you are going to encounter in legal method first is definition and overview. Under the definition, we have definition of legal method. Of course, do you want to study legal method without knowing definition of legal method? And ironically, this is the only course you will ever learn the definition in your life. Once you are as a law student, once you are done with this course, you are not going to cram any other definition like define contract, define thought. The lecturer who has time to ask such a small question. So it's only a lecturer that is gracious enough that may tell you to define legal method in your year one. So in this first stage, you are going to know the meaning of definition of legal method. Then, having known that, another thing you are going to know then is the true definition of law. I say true definition because obviously there is no true definition of law. I made a video that dealt with that. You can still check it. So you are going to know everything concerning the definition of law. You are going to know everything, the various perspectives that aligns or that defines law. You are expected at least to define law in various schools, which you are going to also treat or talk about. You are going to define law based on various authorities. I know you may not be conversant with authority now, but let me just clarify you. In law, everything you are going to do is not that law can be defined according to my own understanding. My brother, you are now a law student. save your understanding here. We don't do it according to my own understanding. You can only say according to this person, according to Oliver Wendell Holmes, according to this, according to that. That is when you are making sense. If you say according to you, who is you? So that is just it. You are going to know everything about definition of law, then overview of law. This is the first stage of legal method. Definition of legal method, overview of legal method, and that ends the first stage. Then the second stage of the course outline of legal method has to do with nature of law. Remember, the first stage has to do with definition of legal method and then definition of what? Law. But this second stage has to do with the outline on nature of law. By nature of law, we simply means what are those essentials that makes up law. Here you are going to see characteristics of a good law or features of a good law. Then you are also going to see quality of a good law. There are different things. In my year one, I was examining on that. Characteristics is different thing. Then qualities of a good law is different thing. We have actually made a video in all this. What we are going to do once we are done, you go to our channel, subscribe and see all this video that will guide you. Then under this nature of law, you are also going to see the schools of law. It is expected under this category that you pick your textbook and study the nature of law. That is everything that makes up law. Here we are going to see characteristics, functions, and importance of law. These are the things that are required of you under this nature of law. Then we proceed to the third stage of court outline in legal method. Having known the definition of legal method and law, nature of law, the next you are going to know is the distinction between law and other concepts. Pay attention here. Here is actually where the whole issue lies in legal method. This thing really stressed me in my year one. Under here, you are going to, identify the difference. You are expected to know the distinctions between law and concepts like morality. Remember, law and morality has something to do together. Like they sound alike. That is all this moral church stuff, all these assumptions, beliefs. I'm not going to treat that because I made a video on that. So that's why I encourage you, please subscribe to this channel if you are taking your academics seriously. Now, lecturer is not enough. Don't think you will literally learn everything and pass with just what the peanut the lecturer will be giving you. And you can't even read it alone in textbook and understand. This one I'm talking about law and morality. I have made a video on this, and this video is still on this channel. That one dealt, because when you start to read it, you will see that you don't understand anything. It's very difficult to comprehend. So law is different from morality. That's why you cannot be prosecuted for not going to church. That's why you cannot be prosecuted for, immorality, because law is not morality and morality is not law. But then you have to tell your lecturer their differences and how they connect. Apart from that, we have the relationship and the difference between law, order, and justice. You are going to know that. We are going to also identify between law and freedom, law and sovereignty, law and legitimacy, law and state. That is everything you are expected to know under this third phase of distinction between law and certain concepts. It is a first semester work, my dear. So are you getting me? Let's proceed. Stage has to do with theories of law. That is everything that has to do with theories of law. Here you are going to know the theory of positive schools. First of all, what is theory of law? Remember, we are not treating theories of law here, but I will just briefly tell you. Theory of law simply means an attempt to clarify and define law in a holistic perspective. So remember, we say that law has no definition, and according to Thomas Arnold, law has no universal definitions. You don't just say law don't have no universal definition. You are nobody. You say according to Thomas Arnold, an erudite in the field of law, law has no universal definition. So because law has no universal definition, theories were developed to explain it. Then this theory were developed according to the person's understanding. Aristotle came and said that the law is this and developed theory. Oliver Wendell Holmes says law is this and developed theories. Austin said law is this and developed theories. This is how we got various theories. They are trying to explain law in their own understanding. So that's why you have to study the theories of law. The purpose of studying is for you as a law student to know various meaning of law in a different dimension, since we know that law has no one concise definition. So that is why you are going to know. So here you are expected to know the positive theory of law, the natural theory of law. These are the major ones. natural theory of law, positive theory of law, realism theory of law. Then we also have the historical theory of law. There are many theory of law, Marxist school of law, and I forgot something very important. You can either call it theories of law or schools of law or jurisprudence in law or in law. So it's when you move forward, you will be hearing more of school of law and jurisprudence of law. You no longer be hearing theory. But for this legal method, theories is well accepted. So this theory of law, like I said, we have made a video on it. The only thing you are going to do for me is after watching this, go to this channel and check for playlist, legal method playlist, or just type on YouTube introduction to legal method by King's Advocate. You are going to see the whole videos on legal method. We move to the fifth stage. The fifth stage is actually the most, should I say, the most confusing one. And another one is the one that has to do with distinction between law and morality. I think that should be number 3 on our list. They are the major ones that give students in legal method headache. So under this fifth stage, you are going to know the classification of law. And law has been classified in so many perspectives. We have classification based on public and private law. We have classification based on civil law and common law. Then we have classification based on civil law and equity. Then we have classification based on substantive law and procedural law or adjectival law. These are the things, and it doesn't just end like this. If you go to this very substantive law and you see how big it is. If you go with civil law and criminal law, you see how big it is. There you are going to know the certain terms that are associated with civil proceedings like plaintiff, defendant, and all those things. You're also going to know the ones that are associated with criminal matters. You are also going to know how to cite cases. These are where, like, how to know when they say Kingsley v. Bom and Okeke. This thing simply means Kingsley and Okeke if it is in civil proceeding. But if it is in criminal proceeding, it means Kingsley against Okeke. You can see states v. Eze. This thing simply means in the case of state against Eze. But assuming it is like that in the civil matters, it becomes and not v. These are the things you are going to be taught under this classification. So what I want you to do now, the bonus tip I promised to give you, is the recommendation. Kingsley, what are the textbook I'm going to buy? Because the journey has started. Even if you are still at home, your school have not started, or you have started school and the school is building you as if to say it's not serious, don't worry. Stay in your hostel, stay in your lodge, read harder, and when the lecture starts, you will automatically be leading among your classmates. That is what I did during my time, and they gave me the name, the law. That's why I got the law. Because when the lecturer say anything, I'll answer question. I started saying, in the case of this, in the case, how did I know it? Through reading early before my classmates. They gave me the name law. Yes, I'm the law. The relevant textbooks that are relevant. The relevant textbooks that are relevant in this course legal method that I would like to recommend to you are this. Number 1 is Introduction to Legal Method by A.O. Sani. That lecturer, I think, is from Obafemi Awolowo University. He taught there or he teaches there. It's a very, very good textbook that will help you. Introduction to Legal Method by A.O. Sani. Then another one also that is relevant in this field is A.C. Malami. Introduction to Legal Method by A.C. Malami. Legal Method by A.C. Malami. So Nigerian Legal Method by A.C. Malami is also simple and easy to use. It will give you that background understanding on this topic. Then that is one I used that I'm rooting for. If you can lay hands on it, buy it. The one of Introduction to the Rudiments of Nigerian Legal Method by Professor Christian Churchill Obago. He's a lead lecturer in Enugu State University of Science and Technology, a senior lecturer at that. He taught me in my year 1 and his textbook was amazing. It really helped me to pass that course very well. So if you are somebody within the East, you can actually lay hands on that textbook by going to any relevant library or bookshop within the East, like UNN Bookshop, Esut Library, Esut Bookshops. Basically, you are going to get it there if you are within the East. But I doubt if it will be worldwide. The only one I know that will be across Nigeria is that of A.C. Malami and A.O. Sani. It can help you. So I believe this video helps you. But then I want to beg you, please start early. Start early. I know why I'm saying it. If you want to make it, start early, because this course is not easy. I'm not discouraging you. Like I started by telling you, congratulations. I'm just trying to be truthful to you. It's not better I tell you the truth. The law is not easy now. So that's why you are required to have a good mark, so that your brain, let it be you have something upstairs before coming into this course. Because if you are lacking in something here and they work your admission, the only way to survive is to start early, because even sorting will not even give you A. So it's better you start early. I promise you, you're not going to regret it. Subscribe to this video and don't forget to tell me the university you are watching this video. I want to see your university so that I will know how to tell all my posts to suit you in your university. I will see you in all this video. I pointed out introduction to legal method video, right? Click this link above, you are going to see it. Everything that has to do with the legal method, the playlist above, they all are relevant to this.